What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Pretty Little Liars, Season 4, Episode 22, cover for me. I'm your host, Dom, and with me I have my co-host, Mike.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, as can be expected.
I see. So, you don't typically watch this show?
No, I don't typically. This makes the second episode I've watched while fully paying attention. Maybe, legitimately, I've like about the sixth episode I've watched completely.
So this is your full first normal episode. What did you think of it?
Oh yeah, because my last one was that black and white flashback thing in Spencer's fevered brain. It was all right. I spent the whole time talking to Omi, bouncing theories about the series finale off of her. Because I have a couple theories. I don't know if any of them are accurate because I don't watch the show. Excuse me. Hiccups.
Boo.
Okay. Thank you. I don't watch the show normally, so I don't know how accurate my theories are, or even where they're coming from. I even had a couple of moments I'm like Allie's mom, for example. I'm watching this episode, and it's at the last appearance of her, I go, oh yeah, who is that lady? That's Allison's mom. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, not only is it new for you, but we were introduced to two new characters, so we'll start with them.
Okay.
Spencer ended up going on a 3-day stay at rehab, which obviously she didn't want to. She had previously said that it would interfere with college applications, stuff like that. Because not only did she have Bradley, which was the nut house that she was in, but now she'll have rehab on her record. So she ends up having a live-in drug and alcohol abuse counselor stay with her, character named Dean. What did you think of him?
Bad. I was tempted to want him to murder somebody.
So you didn't like him?
Oh, I liked him just fine. It's just other characters he's played before.
Yes,
Yeah.
he played Cole on Supernatural.
No, on the Vampire
On the
Diaries.
Vampire Diaries. Wow.
Nice try.
And quick appearance on the originals, but he is playing the upcoming character of David Hayden in Supernatural Tribes. So he will be in.
My God, I'm sorry.
He will be in the spin-off episode of that coming soon. I believe they said what, episode 20 of Supernatural is the backdoor pilot.
Yes.
So that is coming up.
Yes,
That is coming
definitely.
up soon. That is coming up
Okay.
soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I don't know. Due to those commitments that he has with the other shows, he's not gonna have a long stay in here. He's gonna be on the show for only about 2 episodes. So
Okay. Yeah.
So that was. I'm assuming that's including the one that just aired. So we'll probably see him again next week, if not the week after, because sometimes they do that. They'll skip around, and we may not see that character immediately again.
True. I think we'll see him next episode, though.
Yeah.
From what the sense I got, because he's helping Spencer through her
Right.
thing.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I like the character, but he seemed like a know-it-all. So I don't know. But Spencer, she's still having some flashbacks of Allie coming off her drug binge. This time she's getting flashbacks of her hitting Allison with the shovel. There is blood all over the place. Blood splatter all over her. Do you think this is something that actually happened, or do you think these are drug-induced hallucinations?
You know what? I don't know. It's so tough to say. What I think is... Okay, my theory was that this really happened at some point. Like, this is... these hallucinations, do they have a time? Is this back before Allie disappeared?
These were the night Allison disappeared.
Okay, so my theory is that really happened. Spencer cracked her over the head with a shovel, injured her, and like this whole, because Omi was spinning me some ideas like, you know, Spencer's dad's a lawyer, a really good lawyer. Was Emily's mom works for the police, so she can cover stuff up. Arya's dad's a fucking super genius. Things like that. And my thought is, Spencer cracked Allie with a shovel. They thought she was dead, and all these parents got together and covered it all up. And that would make the theory that Allie's mom is kind of real in my head. But like I said, I have limited knowledge of the show, so I might be just really shooting, random crap right here.
Yeah, I don't know so much if the parents would be in on it, but I mean, anything's possible in the show. We really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's like Allie, that happened. Allie's mom is trying to get revenge on the parents through their kids, or Allie is and this is just her, doing it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the parents personally. I don't think it's Allison personally.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not putting too much stock in these theories. These are just random musings I came up with while watching the episode. So
right, and I'm not saying Mrs. De Laurentiis isn't but
or involved.
Yeah, but with 2 episodes to go until the season finale, I don't think they're going to reveal that early. That would have been something that they would have revealed at the finale.
Yeah, good point.
So, I'm a little skeptical on that. But one other thing before we move on away from Spencer, was she got a letter from Toby, her boyfriend.
Yes.
We didn't see what was in the letter. We barely got a reaction out of her. From reading the letter, she got interrupted when Arya called the SOS meeting. But what do you think that letter from Toby was?
I honestly don't know.
Because he has not been a fan of her drug habits lately, keeping secrets from him and stuff like that. Do you think it could have been a breakup letter?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because if it's a breakup letter, she took it pretty well.
Yeah, she took it pretty well. I mean, I guess, she's not exactly been the best person on the planet, recently. So could be, I don't know. She would have taken that really well for a breakup letter, no matter, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, for sure. She used to be the most level-headed of the girls, but recent events, it's not been the case. She's kind of been wigging out a little bit because of the drugs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Arya ran off last episode. We found out she went to a nearby college campus from her father, and or I think she lied about that, to be completely honest. But I don't know. Maybe she was near his campus, but either way, she meets up with a boy who, to my knowledge, was not named once in the episode. We do, however, know that his name is Riley.
Thank good, because I had no idea who he was.
Right. I got a very Owen Wilson kind of vibe off of him. I don't know.
Well, I can see that.
I don't know about you.
I didn't get the vibe, but I can see.
Not his initial, first impression of him, but it was more when he was sitting in the hotel room, and he's sitting there playing the guitar, and he's like, I named my guitar Antonio, or he didn't name it. He said, I forget how he worded it. He had to let Antonio out to breathe.
Yeah, my whole... I could see where you're coming from. My whole impression of that scene is, oh, look, it's another college douchebag with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, Owen Wilson.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like every character he plays is that overly nice guy douchebag.
Yeah.
Wedding Crashers, and I don't know. I used to hate him, but he grew on me after a while. Owen Wilson is a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So she slept with him, so Arya's kind of being a whore right now. And then she makes her way back to Rosewood just in time to confront Ezra, and surprisingly didn't address anything about their fight. They didn't really have a talk about anything amongst them. I don't know what relationship where people break up, never talk about anything, and then when they meet up again for the first time, they don't even try to say something either in their favor or against the other person or whatever to get some kind of satisfaction back from ending the relationship. So that just seemed a little awkward to me. But she confronted Ezra, told him to leave Rosewood, get out. She didn't want to see him again. She didn't want to run into him at the grocery store or anything like that. Ezra doesn't really say much about the situation, but he gives Arya his a copy of his book. Yeah, the manuscript. So Arya ends up going through that and whatever, and it almost seems by the end of it, she's a little sympathetic toward Ezra's cause at that.
Yeah, I got that feeling too a little bit. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Do you think there's hope for them, or do you think that their relationship is completely over?
I mean, in the realistic sense, he's, breaking how many laws? Well, has broken how many laws in the past to be with her? Yeah. Am I wrong there? So
yeah.
I mean, the sensible side of me is saying, ew, no. Really, from the show standpoint, I don't know. Probably no chance. Okay, there's probably a little chance there. We'll go 50-50.
You think Arya is able to forgive him?
Maybe. I don't know that much about the character.
May take some time, but...
Other than she's the wrong Arya.
She's the wrong Arya?
Arya Stark. Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Yeah. Wrong Arya. For me.
Gotcha. So... My future ex-girlfriend, Hannah...
Your future ex-girlfriend, Hannah.
Yeah.
I love that. But...
she makes date plans with Travis. Travis asked her out on a date. Do you see this going anywhere? Because Hannah was a terrible date, first and foremost.
Yeah, she kind of was. I don't think I see it going anywhere. Maybe. I mean, I didn't get exactly the greatest feel off of it as far as date-wise, but...
Yeah, and then...
What the fuck do I know?
Secondly, Travis kind of saw something was up with the interaction between Mrs. De Laurentiis and Hannah. This is before they even had any suspicion about Mrs. De Laurentiis being A. So, Travis already got this like weird kind of vibe. Like, who is this lady? He got no explanation off of it. It was just really weird. So I don't know. I don't really see them going anywhere. They don't seem like the right kind of couple. And then just recently, as I mentioned last week with Umikins, Ravenswood was canceled.
It was.
It was in fact canceled. The season has ended. It is completely over. They aired their last episode, and it ended kind of on a weird kind of cliffhanger. I'm not sure if Caleb is gonna come back, but with the series over, Hannah's now ex-boyfriend, Caleb, he was the main character over there.
Right.
So there may be room for him to come back next season. Obviously, we're not going to see it this season because they intended on him being in Ravenswood this whole season.
Right.
But season 5 is right around the corner. It's like 2-3 months out. And yeah, the show is really weird. They have like
it is. I know.
2 months
I've
between
noticed.
They have 2 months between their season finale and their season premiere, and then they have like 4 months between their mid-season break. So they do it backwards for whatever reason. Yeah. So Detective Holbrook, excuse me, Detective Holbrook questions Hannah about the Allison is still alive note that he received. Mm-hmm. And Hannah ends up bringing this information to Emily. The note was actually written by Emily's girlfriend, Paige. How do you think Emily's going to take this? She specifically told Paige not to say anything to anyone, and Paige went around and dropped it off at the police station. So,
Yeah.
do you see Paige and Emily lasting very long?
No. I mean, maybe Emily could forgive her. Maybe Emily's an idiot. I'm not sure.
I hope they're done.
I kind of guess. I
Me,
kind of think they're done.
me and Omi are both in agreement. We hate Paige. We hate her.
Yeah, I didn't like her.
Yeah,
Like the one episode I saw.
yeah. So, um, we're very, very much hoping that this is the end for them. But also, Emily had confronted Ezra. She bitched him out right before class.
Hmm.
And she basically said she won't be attending his class. Give this to a real teacher or something along those lines. Really kind of slap in the face to Ezra there.
And because I haven't seen how many episodes, I ask, is he actually not a real teacher? She's like, no, he has all the degrees and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, all right.
yeah. Then Emily also goes and confronts Mona about her involvement and how she's tied in with Ezra. And Mona explains that she was protecting herself from the illegal activities that were depicted of her in the book, because things she could still be implicated with. So she was agreeing to help Ezra do some research to get her illegal activities written out of the book, so they didn't come back to hurt her. Does this seem plausible to you, or do you think Mona's spinning this story to cover her own ass once again?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know the crap that happened with Mona in the past. I know she was
Mona was A
suspected
in
of-
season 1 and 2.
Okay, so she was A in season 1 and 2. I think she's covering her own ass, honestly.
Yeah, she claims someone stole the game from her when she was in Radley. Who that person is, or if Mona's still involved, we don't quite know. We think at this point it's Mrs. De Laurentiis.
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah, so they really kind of set it up this episode. We see dirt in Spencer's bed. Then Mrs. De Laurentiis comes by the house. She makes a comment about fresh sheets. Then we see her at the very end of the episode. Lights come on in her house. Spencer goes over to the window. We see Mrs. De Laurentiis standing right behind Spencer. Spencer's mom calls for her. All of a sudden, Mrs. De Laurentiis disappears. Spencer's mom comes in.
I
and
thought it
you're
was
like,
another
oh,
hallucination. Yeah.
hallucination. That's exactly what I thought too. And as they're talking, and Spencer turns and looks back out the window, you see Mrs. De Laurentiis leave the room, just in the background in the shadows. So Mrs. De Laurentiis is definitely up to something. Not quite sure what, but she seems the most plausible suspect for A at this moment. I was very adamant. You were here, 2 weeks ago when, maybe 3 weeks ago, I don't even remember anymore, the Shadow Play episode, where I very adamantly stated Ezra was not A. It very likely seems that he is not at this point. They've kind of explained him out of that one. They set it up for Mrs. De Laurentiis. It's too early to tell. I don't have any clues right now any hunches that I can go off of to say whether she is or isn't. But if I had to choose, I'm going to say she is. That's the direction I'm leaning in. But with this show, you never know. So, where are you personally leaning? More toward she is or she isn't?
She is. I'm leaning towards she is.
Any one of her actions this particular episode stood out to you the most?
Just what was that? What was it she said? I had it. I had it in my head. I had it. There was something I can't remember. They were talking about she knew something that she shouldn't have known. I don't know. Based on what I heard from last episode, that Spencer had an outburst at her about her hitting her head. Like, if you saw me hit Allie in the head with a shovel, why didn't you call me the police or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So that led me thinking, if that actually happened and she actually did see that, what kind of shifty shit is she getting into?
Yeah.
Because she's just playing it off like, oh, it's just an outburst. Well, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, and if there was a cover up there, I could see
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. De Laurentiis and Spencer's father covering it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think all the other parents would be involved in this. So if that was the case,
Mm-hmm.
if there is a parent involved, it's Spencer's father. He's a very shady character as it is. So yeah, yeah. But Mrs. De Laurentiis, she's very calculated too, which was another pro toward her being A. She comes in, she tells Spencer exactly what Spencer's mom was going to do. She was going to write a check for charity because she couldn't attend. She was going to make excuse that she was busy, and that's exactly what she did. So, knowing that kind of information, even though it's something that you could probably easily surmise, it just goes to show you how calculated she actually is. So
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. So we got 2 episodes left until the finale.
2.
2.
Do you think this season finale will reveal the true identity of A at all?
It may reveal
Like to us, to the
A.
audience, not to them.
May reveal a version of A, but not Big A. It may turn out Mrs. De Laurentiis is an underling of A.
More underlings.
Because as Spencer, no, was it Hannah? I believe it was Hannah who said, "Does Mrs. D even know how to text?"
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of stuff like text messages and various things like that that are technologically advanced, and I don't believe Mrs. De Laurentiis is capable of that. If she is doing a great job of playing dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do think I don't think A is one person. So yeah, I believe there's at least 2 people who are out there pretending to be A. But at the very end of the episode, we see A cutting some thread off the edge of a wedding dress.
Yeah, what the hell was that about?
Well, next week, the episode is called Unbridled. And it says it is a rough time for all the liars as Spencer's reeling about the memories from her quote-unquote lost summer. Arya is still nursing a broken heart. Emily's reeling from Paige's betrayal, and Hannah unsuccessfully attempts to wade back into the dating pool. Just as each girl tries to deal with her individual issues, they must focus their attention on their suspicions surrounding Mrs. De Laurentiis. Assuming that Mrs. D knows about Allie and the night she went missing, the girls decide to help out at her charity bridal fashion show to gain access to the De Laurentiis house to search for answers.
Huh.
So, do you think we're going to have some kind of wardrobe malfunction?
Not in a fun way.
Well, A was obviously sewing the dress. They were doing something to the dress. They're not just going to give them a dress for no reason.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Or replace the dress for no reason. So there's got to be something up with that, and the easiest guess is a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So
I'm watching 2 episodes. I'm curious now. God damn you, you and the wife. I hate you both for this. I'm curious now to see who A winds up being. So I may actually have to watch this friggin' show to find out.
yes. I don't know.
I hate all the main characters.
I was just going through this with Umi last week. Do you believe that most of the characters are in their mid to late 20s?
Well, do you mean the actresses?
Yes.
Yeah, she told me that the actress who plays Spencer is like 28.
Yep. Spencer's 28. The rest of the girls, I believe, are 25.
You know what? I can believe it. I say that because look at who was it? the guy who on Glee, who died of the overdose this
Mm-hmm.
past year. He played someone who just graduated high school and was like, I think he was playing a 19 or 20-year-old, and the actor was 32.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
also like the character Beth on The Walking Dead. She plays like a 17 or 18-year-old, and she's actually like 30.
oh,
And she looks like she's 15. It's kind of scary.
fun.
Yeah. Final statement from the synopsis. Meanwhile, Ella and Jason return to Rosewood, each with something to hide. I don't recall who Ella is. Oh, Ella. Ella's, never mind. Ella is Arya's mother. And Jason is Allison's brother. So, I'm curious what each has something to hide exactly means. Jason, I could see being tied to something to do with Allison, but I can't see what
Okay.
Arya's mother has to hide. She went away to, I believe it was Germany, something like that, with her boyfriend for some sort of baking. Her boyfriend's a baker.
A butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker.
Yes, so maybe she's secretly a candlestick maker.
All right.
And maybe Jason is secretly a butcher. But yeah. A scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to watch next week's episode?
A 2.
You just
All
got
right,
through
no,
saying
like
you
a
need to see
like
who,
a 3,
who
or
A.
a 4 compared to my usual 0.
That's an improvement.
It's an improvement. We're making waves,
We are.
making
are.
progress, forward progress.
We'll make a viewer out of you yet.
I doubt it.
Mike, thank you for filling in for Umi this week.
You're welcome.
Hopefully she feels better soon.
I agree.
And yeah, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
You can find me below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
Do you notice how I pause now and wait for you to do that?
I know, because every one of us does it.
As always, you could follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week.
No.
No?
Okay, fine.
Thank you.